Okay, now we're going to start putting this thing together. Now if you've got a bowl that's not evenly round or square, there could be a front and a back. You might want to look around and see what side you want as front and back. And I guess this one looks pretty awesome either way, any way around. So I'm just going to call this one the front. And I'm going to start with my tallest cactus here. Got these cactus from Hobby Lobby, where I am the floral designer there for the past 6 years, the Peoria Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to push this thing right down into the middle. And this shape's pretty cool. This is a aloe vera plant. You just kind of bend these leaves out. Shape them as you go along. They're pretty cool. Okay. Now I have another one. You know, that one actually doesn't have to go in the middle. I'm going to do this a little different. I'm going to poke this one, pull it right back out. I'm going to do it kind of tilted in a little bit, since I have a larger one. You push that all the way down to the base, like that. Okay. Now I have another large one that I'm going to use. Cut off my tags, and this one I'm going to do in the other direction. And if your container isn't as long as the stem, feel free to cut it off, but cut it off at a slant so you've got a pointed edge. And then I'm going to shape this one out, open it up. They bend, they have wires inside of them. So bend it as if it's growing like that. I'm going to open this up too. So, and then my third one is this little fern type plant here. Take the tags off that one. And this one has a longer stem on it, so I think I'm going to cut it down. But it's a little bit harder to cut down because it's got some plastic on it and it's wrapped up with wire. So I'm taking my razor blade and trying to cut the plastic off. There we go. I'm gonna cut. People ask me all the time, how do you cut these stems? These wires are pretty heavy duty. Well, unless you've got bolt cutters or heavy duty wire cutters, you just got to do one wire at a time. A lot of these have plastic over them and there's usually just one wire, but sometimes you get some that are just layers and layers of wire, and you just kind of have to work at it. Keep biting off one wire at a time, see that snap, and bend it back and forth if you have to. And maybe wear some protective eye goggles. Okay, now this one is going to go over here in the front. I've got a space and I'm poking out. Make sure I don't make my moss slide over the edge. Sometimes you want to make a little hole in this moss because it is really strong, and if it pokes through into your brick there, it's not going to allow your plant to go in very well. Kind of spread that out a little bit. See how that looks? Pretty cool. Okay, now you decide what you want next. I've got some pretty good size ones here. You never know, I just kind of figure it out as I go, but I can picture in my head a little bit. That one I'm going to put a steel pick on. And this is the one I'm going to put in now. I think I'm going to, there's a bigger gap on this side. I think I'll put it right here. Poke it in deep. Okay. See how that is? Right there. Then I've got another one here that's a lot similar to it. That yeah, I think I'm going to put it over here on the side. Keep it away from that one so they don't look so much alike. You know, using the steel picks. These steel pick machines put a razor sharp edge on it. See that? I don't know if you can see it. That's like a fish hook kind of thing that very, very sharp. But you push that into your foam and it holds it, anchors it in there a lot better, so it doesn't want to pull out so easy. It's kind of a must when you're doing floral arranging. Okay. See how I've got that so far? Now I think I'm going to, she liked this thistle looking plant here. I've never used it in my succulent arrangements. It's kind of a new one at Hobby Lobby. But I'm gonna add it in here somewhere. Sometimes I'll cut these up into sections. This has got 3 different branches on it, and I think I'm gonna cut them up. I usually cut them at the base down here where it connects to my other part of the stem. And always give yourself one long one just in case you want to use it long one and then you can use shorter ones. So I've got 3 different size lengths there. And I'm gonna try and see how this looks. I'm gonna cut this down, kind of leave it long. Oops. All right, pull that out. And I bend these because nothing grows straight in nature. And I'm going to kind of trail them in here, taper them down a little bit. One right there. Looks pretty cool. And let me take this third one, just poke it in. Yeah, it needs to be a little closer, I think. There, I like that one a little bit closer to the base there. Okay, now I've got room for another one, but I'm thinking I'm going to add this one. Since it's got a little bit of purple in it, I think it would go really good with these little thistle here. They've got a touch of purple. And this other one I put in has some purple in it too. It's actually, I may move this one because I'm not liking the way it's sitting right on that base. I may move it up a bit. I don't want anything. When you have an arrangement, you don't want it to look like it's up to its neck in container or moss or anything. You want it to look like it's growing there. And see if I can do this justice here. Maybe have to cut that one down a little bit. Some of these newer stems have flimsy, these newer cactus have flimsier stems, so they don't want to hold up as well. It's kind of wobbly. So I guess I could push it down in a little bit more. Then I have one more. I need something. See, I've got these 2 right there. I need something in here. Maybe I'll use these right here. I think I might. I have a few of them that I have that discontinued from Hobby Lobby. I snatched them up. Poke one over on this side, push it in, and then you do another one on this side. In between those 2. Now that's got a fat stem, so I'm going to kind of cut it down to a point a little bit. The smallest hole you can make in your foam, the better, because if you ever decide you don't like it there, you can change it out. And actually, you know what? I don't want to put that same one there because you've got 2 round ones here, and if I put another round one, it just looks like it's really symmetrical. And the idea of this is to make it look kind of an organic, you know, like it grew that way. And it's kind of got a long tongue, so I'm thinking I'm going to use these. I only have one. They were sold out, and I want to didn't have too many at the store. I'm going to cut it down to a point here because it's got a fat stem. And use my better wire cutters, I guess. That would help. Yeah, much better. Work at it little piece at a time if you have to. Because Because if you don't have a steel pick machine, and even if you do have, it helps to cut that down a little bit because these steel picks won't grasp around a big stem. So, and I'm going to feed this one in here. Push it in pretty good there. And I think it's pretty good. Let me spread that out a little bit. And make these kind of bend up a little bit. Okay. I think it's done. Take a good look at it. I'll get you a good close-up look. You can see it good. There you go.